We should not have to be here tonight. We should not be forced to talk about some of the 250 people brutally kidnapped and taken hostage on October 7th. It should not be necessary to call for immediate, unconditional release of these hostages. We should not have to. We should not be here because Hamas should not be holding hostages. I'm grateful that more than 100 hostages have been released and returned to Israel. But 143 hostages remain in captivity, held by Hamas, by Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and by others in Gaza. The families don't know the status of their loved ones. They don't know where their loved ones are. They don't know when they will be coming home. So I will talk tonight about one hostage, Hersh Goldberg-Polin. Hersh's parents, Rachel and John, are from Chicago. I've been friends with his Aunt Abby for more than 30 years. I know his grandmother, Leah. Hersh's family is now my family. Hersh was born in Northern California. His family moved to Virginia when Hersh was 4 and to Israel when he was 7. That was in 2008. Hersh grew up in Jerusalem, reached adulthood, was known widely as a kind, gentle mensch. On Friday, October 6th of this year, Hersh was with his family in Jerusalem. It was the evening of the Sabbath, Shabbat, and the holiday of Simchat Torah. The family went to synagogue and then went to dinner at a friend's house with 2 other families. After dinner, Hersh grabbed his backpack and left to meet his friend Amr. They later learned that Hersh and his friend were going to a concert in the South, a music festival. That was on Saturday, October 7th. I'd like to now read at length some of the words of Hersh's father, Jonathan Polin, published in Time magazine. He says, describing his circumstance on Sunday, having learned that Hersh was taken hostage on Saturday. At some time, he says, I think it was Sunday morning, a picture started to circulate online that was from an outdoor festival. It was a picture from an outdoor bomb shelter. They're not uncommon in the south of Israel. Our son was in the picture, as was Honor. Through social media, we started to search for other families of people who were in the shelter and to try to piece together a story. What we have subsequently pieced together based on conversations with the 3 witnesses who were in the shelter with him is the following. Sometime around 7:30 a.m. Saturday morning, those in the bomb shelter came under heavy gunfire. Grenades were being tossed into the shelter. Hersh's friend Honor, who was by the entrance of the bomb shelter, is responsible for the lives of anybody who's still alive. He was picking up grenades and tossing them back out and taking control of the situation. But it was total chaos. At least 11 grenades were thrown into the shelter. Honor picked up 8 and threw them back out. 3 exploded inside. People were critically wounded. Next we know from witnesses is that at 9 a.m. gunmen came into the shelter and shouted, anybody who can get on their feet must walk out. And our son was one of the small number to walk out. That was 55 days ago. 7 Shabbat dinners with an empty seat in the Goldberg-Hersh family. 7 weeks of uncertainty, not knowing where Hersh is. 7 weeks of not knowing how Hersh is doing. 7 weeks not knowing when Hersh is coming home. Tonight we've heard about so many of these hostages. 143 of the 250 plus hostages taken still are in captivity. The IRC must be able to see Hersh and every one of the other hostages. Hersh and all the other hostages must come home. Not someday, not soon, but now. We owe it to these hostages to bring them home. We owe it to our families. And we must make sure that Hamas can never take hostages, can never attack Israel ever again.